It's Night Demon right here on your classic metal show with Killer.
Ooh, Killer.
Yeah, it's pretty strong stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We're definitely going to get censored for that one.
I somehow in the midst of that mix, I could hear Jackal licking Jarvis's ball sack. I just heard it as the song was playing.
Right.
Killer!
Is that what that was?
That's what that was.
I thought that was like a metronome or something keeping time.
That was Jackal's tongue keeping time, just flicking his balls back and forth.
I was wondering if that was like a click track or something. They didn't mean to get in on the recording, but I'm glad you had a little insight on that.
As Jackal calls it, the dick track.
Wow. Well, speaking of killers, this guy isn't exactly a killer, but he is a wanted person of interest.
Okay.
Somebody who often calls the show. We haven't heard from him in a long time.
No, we haven't.
But apparently a CMS fan, John Ruffo.
Yeah.
He's an elusive New York City swindler. He's still on the run after 20 years.
How about that?
So
maybe we should have submitted our tapes to the FBI to help find him.
Well, we do have the digital audio of the calls.
Yeah.
So being that this guy is a known swindler,
right?
You got to wonder if all those health issues that were often discussed here on the CMS with John Ruffo were just a ploy for sympathy.
Could have been. I mean, he swindled those tickets to that Zach Brown Band concert.
Yeah.
Not sex.
Well, apparently when John Ruffo showed up at a federal courthouse in Brooklyn on November 9th of 1998, we're talking 20 years ago.
Well,
he already had a unique resume. New York University graduate, computer expert, convicted $350 million con man.
Wow.
$350 million.
Boy, Ruffo, who knew?
Yeah. No wonder you could afford those expensive Van Halen tickets.
Yeah, no shit.
Ruffo arrived at the courthouse to turn over the electronic monitoring bracelet he had been ordered to wear. His next stop was supposed to be a federal prison in New Jersey to start a 17-year sentence. But Ruffo never turned up at the prison.
No.
Can you imagine that?
Instead, he went to a Guitar Center and bought a bass and just sat in his apartment and played.
You can buy a lot of bass strings with $350 million.
Yeah, remember that time I was asking him how he could afford those Van Halen tickets?
Yeah.
Or Iron Maiden or whatever it was?
Van Halen tickets.
Yeah, well, now we know how he could afford them because he swindled $300 million from people.
Right.
Too funny.
He never showed up at the prison, but that evening he had gained another title, federal fugitive.
Oh, my God.
Last time we heard, he was in Boston area.
Yes.
Ruffo left a trail of wreckage in his wake. Former business partners wiped out, family members, including his wife and mother, forced out of their homes.
Damn.
They put up for his bond.
Oh, man. And then he left.
Can you imagine that?
What a piece of shit.
Yeah. 20 years later, Ruffo's whereabouts remain unknown. He's in Boston.
Yeah, he's in Boston. We know where he is.
U.S. Marshals are still hunting for him. His former wife is still hurting and still bitter. His former wife.
Well, dude, what's funny about this is a lot of these pieces kind of line up with the story that Ruffo was telling us.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ruffo we knew he was not living with a woman.
Yeah, he wasn't employed.
No, he wasn't employed. He was, kind of in seclusion.
Yeah.
And here we go, this guy. I think it's the same guy.
It could be.
Wouldn't that be something if it really was?
Yeah, that would be something. He was a fan of the show.
Yeah. That would fit. That would fit. A scumbag fugitive, fan of the CMS. That would fit perfectly.
Pretty much.
Yep.
U.S. Marshals are still hunting him. I cried for a year every day. Linda Lawston told NBC News, "I had a rash on my face where the tears had come down."
Oh my God.
she was crying acid tears.
No kidding.
It was
Wow.
it was burning right into her skin.
No kidding.
Now I'm distracted by the chat room. What are we looking at here? Rock and roll cola.
Jesus Christ.
She's got some big old boobies, but she needs to shave that monster bush.
My God. That looks like 10 tarantulas died in her pussy.
No shit.
Oof, that's not an attractive. It looks like she's wearing a bikini.
Yeah, she's a built girl, but man, she needs to shave that snatch.
My God, yeah. It's longer than my grass.
No guys want a Wookiee on that cookie.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Dude, can you imagine if I went down on that, my hair would get tangled.
Yeah, you know what? If those panties came down and I saw that, it was just like, no.
Dude, if you sprayed her with water, it would look like she had dew on her pussy.
Yeah.
It would just be like a morning frost. Ugh, no. Not a fan of the fucking big bush. That's what I am.
No. I'm trying to remember when I've encountered a big bush.
Probably not since fucking high school years.
Boy. Yeah, it definitely had to have been early 80s.
Yeah.
So we're talking over 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking any encounters that I may have had over the last 30 years. Girls have been pretty cognizant about keeping things pretty tidy down there.
Yeah, either shaved or landing strip.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's about the only stuff I've ever run into.
Yuck. Look at Jackal. Love it.
Of course he does. Because he's in there looking for a little penis. Fucking queer.
Look at Joe Cleon. That bush smells like a tuna net. Tuna net. The only thing I can remember about that, and I've said it on the show before, is that is just like the trap for stale pee.
Yeah, it's just gross.
Ugh.
Just disgusting. You know, dude. I mean, honestly, when you were a kid, a young kid, that's what I'm going to assume you encountered bush like this. You know, I mean, do you remember the first time you ever encountered it and you were kind of like fiddling around just trying to figure out where to put your fingers?
Yeah, well, again, when you first encountered, obviously you were probably inexperienced anyway.
Yeah, so you're like digging around looking for something. It's like fucking digging in the backyard for a fucking treasure chest.
Ugh, no.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a fan of the big bush, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, ladies, keep that shit shaved, will you?
Yeah, no shit. Buy a brawn, girls.
Boy.
Fucking A. Takes 2 seconds. Zip, zip, zip.
Yeah.
Pussy's cleaned. Cleaned enough to fucking stick your face on.
Yeah, not only that, but they sell all those razors with 5 and 6 blades on them.
Yeah. Yeah, buy some neat. Or Nair or whatever that shit's called.
Exactly.
Just handle it one time and it's handled forever.
Look at Demon. What's wrong with the women you people date? Don't they bathe?
No, not always. Oh, God, Phil. God damn.
Ouch.
Well, the curtains match the drapes there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
My God. In fact, there's enough material there to make some curtains.
Ouch.
That's disgusting. Is that a woman?
Boy.
My God. That looks like a failed audition for that one Black Crowes cover. Ugh. Just terrible.
Look at Demon with her comparison.
Is that Cortez?
Yeah, that's her.
That's her, right?
She's got a big hairy snatch.
Big old hairy snapper.
Yep.
What the fuck? Ever date a girl that wipes back to front?
How would you know? Unless, of course,
Taste.
No.
Taste.
I got to be honest with you. I think I've been pretty fortunate in my life.
Yeah. Never ran across a stanker.
No, I got to be honest with you. I've been very fortunate, but I'm pretty picky too.
Yeah. Well, wish I could say.
I've been pretty picky, so. I mean, you've seen a few.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're all lookers.
Yeah. In high school, I definitely came across at least one that just smelled. She
smelled.
Dude, it was one of the only times I ever like turned it down in high school.
Wow.
Because she blew me, and then I went to go down on her,
and you were just like,
and I mean, it was
rank.
Oh, it was really rank. It was like the character on Peanuts with the fucking waves coming off it.
Pigpen.
Yeah, it was like coming up on a hot highway, just seeing it fucking blurry.
Yeah.
It was fucking rank. And then I was like, ugh. So then I started like just diddling her with my fingers a little bit. And then I stopped, and I was like, okay, well, maybe now I like pushed it away. I don't know what I was fucking thinking. I was a kid. I was trying to clear the scent or something. So then I started.
I think that's a new term. I was clearing the scent.
I don't know what I was doing. I was a kid. and I started to go back down on her, and I'm going to try and explain this. But like she had her legs kind of, they were spread, but they were like pulled back too.
Okay, I get you.
And I put my hands, on the insides of her legs, and then I was going to go in the middle of it.
Right,
so to
right.
speak.
You were ready to dive in.
Yeah, but I caught a whiff of both her pussy again and my hand, and I was like, I'm done here. I was like, I can't do this. And I just came up and started making out with her and just told her.
So it was radiating.
Yeah. Oh, it was stewed awful. Oh God. It was like a crock pot of fucking rotten vegetation.
Well, I gotta be honest. I've been very fortunate.
It just was bad. And believe me, she broke up with me the very next day. But she's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I spent a week washing my hands.
All right. Well, getting back to the story.
Yeah.
John Ruffo's wife wants to face him.
Mm-hmm.
I want to tell him how bad he hurt his mother and everyone else. I'd like to ask him, when did you stop loving me? And I've got the answer what's her name? The one who was married to Tina Turner.
Oh, yeah.
What's love got to do with it?
Yeah. That's the answer, too. Two punches to the face.
Right. What happened? When did money become so important that you could do this to me? It's important every time, ladies. Yeah. Sorry to tell you.
Yeah, the same time it became so important that I had to have it in order to fuck you.
Let me see. $350 million. Some girl who's going to make my life miserable on a day in, day out basis. I'll take the $350.
I'll take the $350 million and bang supermodels. Beat it, skank.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to make my life a living hell on a day in, day out basis, $350 million, somebody that makes me get out of bed on a Saturday at 9:00 because she wants to make the bed. Yeah, I'll take the $350. Thanks.
Yeah. Somebody wants to bang on my door and leave notes about what an asshole I'm being.
You know, that's funny because I woke up this morning. I woke up early because I had to get up to use the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
So it's like 7. It's a Saturday, right? I'm thinking, okay, it's Saturday. You know, I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Went back to sleep. I woke up. It was 11:00.
Right.
And I was thinking, man, that was such a good sleep from 7 to 11. And I'm thinking, and there was nobody here saying, are you going to get out of bed?
Right.
And I was thinking, I live a very fortunate existence.
Oh, I know. Dude, believe me. That wake-up thing is so nice when you don't have somebody pushing you. We've got to go to Home Depot because you said that we could... Shut up!
You know, yeah, so I slept as sound as could be between 7 and 11 this morning, and I'm not talking about the convenience store that Bob Leather likes.
Right?
Just talking, I just went back to sleep, and I had such a peaceful, sound sleep.
Right.
And I literally did wake up and think to myself, man, that was really good.
Right.
I could have some bitchy old lady saying, are you going to stay in bed all day? And I go, yeah, I am. I just woke up. Now get me some coffee.
Yeah, no. I don't even want her to bring me. I don't even want anybody to bring me anything. You know what? I've replaced that part of having a woman with DoorDash. And that's fine. You know, DoorDash will bring me any meal that I want, any substance that I want to fucking consume.
Right.
You know, DoorDash will handle that. Fucking grocery shopping and all that shit can be handled now with a... There's no value. There's no value to a woman anymore. Cleaning the house, you've proven that you can get that done for you.
Yeah, and they did a fantastic job. I still look at it today. I was walking around the house today and going, man, everything looks so sparkly and clean.
And what you spend, $250?
Yeah, just for the really deep cleaning, and they're going to come in on the 28th. What is today? The 11th, technically?
10th, 11th, yeah.
So basically in, 17 days?
Yeah.
Yeah, so in 2 weeks, they're going to come back and do it again.
And let's be honest, just in fucking bullshit running around and fucking picking up a prescription and buying a dinner here and there and, you know, a gift here and there, you're going to spend way more than $250 in a month.
Yeah, but that isn't my monthly cleaning bill. It's even less than that.
Yeah, okay, so that's even better.
Yeah.
Just useless.
Yeah, they came in, they really cleaned up everything. They got around the baseboards. They cleaned up all the cobwebs and any dust and everything. Yeah. And then 2 weeks from now, they're going to do it again. They're going to come in and clean up the house and make it nice and sparkly clean and smelling great again.
You could literally, if you chose to, for less money than having a chick living with you, get your house dealt with, get all your needs that a woman usually fulfills in a marriage done for you, and get some pussy for half the cost of what you would normally spend, and zero of the aggravation.
Yeah, and on demand.
Yeah. All right, I got to say, the chat room's getting even out of control for me. Jesus Christ, what is that? That is really vile.
Wow, that is vile. Ouch.
God.
That's got to be photoshopped.
I don't know if it is or it isn't, but that is fucking rank.
Wow.
Look at, how does his fist have so much cum on it? Is that pussy juice?
I have no idea.
That is a vile photo. Holy smokes. That might have set some sort of record for this chat room.
Who is that redheaded, lesbian-looking chick in the chat room that Rock and Rolla keeps posting in there?
I don't know.
She's one of those activist women. One of those ones that you would never get a hard-on for in any time, ever.
Yeah, no. I don't know who she is. I don't want to know who she is.
Is that Jennifer?
Make America smell great again?
Oh, my God.
Demon, whose fist is it?
It looks mad.
It looks like it hurts.
Yeah.
I mean, that looks like a pussy after a car accident. That's some vile pussy there.
Yeah.
Oof. That almost made me throw up. Almost. If I wasn't so immune to it from this fucking chat room. Crazy.
All right, who's this kind of soft egg looking chick with the lip piercings and everything?
I don't know who she is either. Just some broad.
Yeah. Well, at least she shaves.
Yeah. At least she doesn't have a goddamn, 13th green between her legs.
Yeah. She's got a big old tattoo down there, but I can ignore that for a minute. But boy, I'll tell you, the lip piercings and the fish hooks in her mouth.
Yeah, I can live with that.
Ugh.
I can go with that. She doesn't have her belly button ring in, though.
That's true.
She needs to put it in. You don't like the belly button ring, do you?
That's all right.
I'm into that.
I can deal with this girl.
Yeah.
She's shaved.
Yeah.
She's clean.
Yeah.
She's been in the shower too.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, she's doable.
She's definitely she's got a doable quality to her.
Of course.
Although, why is she so big in that shower? It's like fucking what was that giant? Was it Gulliver?
Yeah, Gulliver.
That's like Gulliver's sister in the shower.
Gulliver's sister.
I look at her.
Yeah, it looks like the shower is like really the ceiling in the shower is like really short.
Yeah, and the nozzle and shit is tit high.
Yeah.
I mean, she looks like a giant.
She's Andre the Giant's sister.
Yeah. See, now that blonde chick that Tyrant put in there? No. Don't dig that.
Yeah.
Do not dig that. It's too much tit for such a small little body.
Yeah.
Too much.
Too great. Our fans.
This chat room.
I know. They're always on top of stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, getting back to the story.
All right. The story that's not going so well.
Yeah. The man who helped Ruffo pull off the scheme sees his flight from justice in a different light.
Okay.
Edward Reynes spent nearly 9 years in prison for their audacious scam involving a fake Philip Morris research project on smokeless cigarettes. He's gone. God bless him, Reiner said to NBC News. He beat the system. Even two decades later, the colossal fraud they pulled off seems to be ripped from a Hollywood script.
Wow.
The story begins in 1993 when Ruffo was running a small company based in Midtown Manhattan that sold and serviced IBM computers. Reiner was a former Philip Morris employee who had done business with Ruffo as part of his job obtaining computers from a tobacco giant.
Right.
The pair was convinced they could make a boatload playing the stock market, according to Reiners. There was one problem. They weren't sitting on a pile of cash.
That's no problem.
Banks proved a natural target. They could find a way to secure massive loans. They were confident they could use the money to make a mint in stocks, repay the banks, and keep the leftover cash.
Sure.
All they needed was a way to convince the financial institutions to loan them millions of dollars.
That's all.
How do you do that?
Hey, you just have a nice business plan.
Could I get like $2 million, please?
Let me tell you about my idea. You know that's how it comes in.
Yeah.
Bunch of fucking spreadsheets, maybe now an iPad with some cool graphics that flicker in and out. Yeah, look at this great idea. We'll leave you with the iPad. That's a good trick, too. You leave them with like a $500 iPad.
Sure.
So it looks like you have money.
Yeah, you're a roller.
Yeah. You're securing it.
Over lunch at an Italian restaurant in Manhattan, the plan took shape. They would tell banks they were leading an international research program on tobacco alternatives for Philip Morris that required the purchase of hundreds of computers.
Wow.
And the hiring of staff at 5 offshore locations.
Mm-hmm.
Ruffo and Reiners knew that the scheme would only work if they had somehow prevented the banks from contacting Philip Morris directly. So they decided to bill it as an ultra-secret program known only to a few within the company. They even came up with a clandestine-sounding code name, Project Star.
How so fired is the bank guy that gave him the money?
Yeah, I know. It's just like, listen, shh. We're here from Philip Morris.
Yeah.
We got this clandestine research program going. Shh, don't tell anybody. But we're trying to have a tobacco alternative. Can you imagine how much money would be in that for people who are trying to get off cigarettes?
We're not trying to rob you, but we just need a little bit of money from you.
Yeah, because Philip Morris doesn't have the capital to fund this thing.
Yeah, Philip Morris can't afford us. So we need you.
A tobacco company that doesn't have any money.
Philip Morris can't afford us like the Midtown Bank can.
Nothing like that. We know Bank of America has deep pockets or deep vaults.
But we're not going to Bank of America. This is a top secret. Hush, hush. That's why we came to the New York City Association Credit Union. Because you guys can be on the cutting edge.
Right.
Are you with us?
Just imagine all the lives you would be saving.
And think about it this way. Do you got any personal money? We can get you in on the ground floor.
Right. Cigarettes cause cancer. You'd be doing a humanitarian effort.
Think about it this way. There's always going to be people that get sick. Why not get sick with our product so we can make money?
Right.
It's win-win for us.
Besides, in a few years, there's going to be Obamacare, and it'll cover all the sickness.
That's right. The government's always going to take care of the people.
Right.
We got to get them sick so the government can get them well.
Right. When Reiners pitched the executives at their first target, Signet Bank, he used to have a Signet Bank credit card. Yeah, Signet.
Right.
I think I had one of their credit cards years and years ago.
Sure.
He required them to sign a confidentiality agreement that barred them from discussing the project with anyone else, even Philip Morris.
Shh.
Shh. Don't tell him we're here.
Just sign this. Look, I'm going to give you this pen that looks like a cigarette. That's our key. That's our code word.
Right.
If you use this pen, we know you're in.
Right. Working in Reiner's favor was the fact that he had previously done business with Signet Bank when he was still employed by the tobacco company. The Signet Bank executives expressed interest, but there was a catch. In order to complete the deal, the bank required a so-called incumbency certificate from Philip Morris, giving Reiners the authority to conduct business on the firm's behalf.
Okay.
The document had to include a company seal and an executive sign-off. Getting a corporate stamp was no problem. Reiners and Ruffo found a place in Lower Manhattan that did the job with no questions asked.
Of course they did.
And how would they get a signature from a company executive? The answer came to them while they were listening to the radio in a taxi at a station announced it was giving a prize to a certain number caller. Posing as an employee of a radio station, the men phoned Philip Morris executive and told her she had won a free dinner at a pricey Manhattan restaurant.
Wow.
The pair had selected the little-known employer as an assistant corporate secretary named Diane McAdams from a list of company officers. McAdams bought it. She even agreed to sign a release form and send it back to them. Hey, this is Doug, Dancing Doug on 101.7. You just won yourself a exclusive dinner at a Manhattan restaurant. All we need is your release.
Dude, first of all, what is a major exec at Philip Morris doing trying to win a free dinner off the radio?
Well, again, it's the whole idea of, I'm a winner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people get enamored by that shit.
That's just fucking hysterical. Wonder where she works now, too. Because obviously she's fired as well. At this
of course.
Point.
At a pricey Manhattan restaurant. We're going to fly you in.
Yeah.
We're going to have an exclusive dinner for you at Sparks Restaurant.
Sparks Steakhouse.
Wow. No gunfire guaranteed. With McAdams' signature, Ruffo and Reiners now had their holy grail. Soon after the bogus certificate was sent to Signet Bank, the wire transfer into Ruffo's account of, get this, drumroll please, $25 million.
Holy smokes.
How does somebody get a loan for $25 million?
That's awesome. Good for them.
$25 million.
Here's the problem, though. Why did these two fucking knuckleheads stick around? Once you got the 25, fucking take off to Belize or somewhere.
Yeah, I agree.
And live somewhere else forever.
Right.
Leave that crabby-ass wife behind and get the fuck out of there.
The loan marked the breaking of the dam. Soon money was flowing in.
Yeah.
In time, 7 foreign and domestic banks had loaned Ruffo and Reiners more than $350 million.
Oh, boy. These guys are on the Madoff level.
Holy shit.
My God, that's a lot of coin.
Without any verification. You and I try to get a bank loan for a house, loan or something like that, and they want to know where you were born and, who was your first child and, all that kind of stuff. These guys go in and say, hey, you want a free dinner at Sparks Steakhouse.
Dude, look at all the fucking stats we got to provide to get a $400 thing from an advertiser. Holy fuck.
Which, by the way, I haven't heard from that in weeks.
Me either. I think you chased him.
I think I did too. All right. Hey, Ellen Carroll, caller, you're on the air.
You guys should start your own advertising company.
We should? What would we advertise, Tim?
The CMS, and he'd make a fortune.
We would? Who would buy into that?
Well, the listeners.
They would? I don't think so.
And you've got enough of them.
Please.
All right, Tim. Is that your manager?
What's on your mind, Tim?
What is happening? We're hearing over this side of the world. You guys got to answer this question for me because I know you're
Get to it!
You don't have to lap our balls in the run up to the question, Tim. Just go ahead. What's the question?
What is going on with Donald Trump? Is he really in a bad position now?
Not at all. Don't buy into what what the liberal media says. Donald Trump is in full control. Believe me, he plays everybody like a fiddle. They just don't know how to handle him. That's all I can say about it.
But hasn't he lost control of the Senate or something? Or he's Republican, right?
Yes, he ran as a Republican. The Republicans lost the House of Representatives by 21 seats. Not a big deal. It was fully expected, and believe me, he was well aware that might happen. And if you don't think Donald Trump already knows what he's going to do to handle these people, you're fooling yourself.
Tim, Tim, did you know that you were pulling the emergency brake on the show when you called?
All I wanted to hear was what you guys had to say. That's good news. Hail and kill.
That was good news. How does that affect you, Tim?
Jesus Christ.
All right. So anyway, getting back to the story.
Yeah.
They did this without even seeing a single computer.
Seems right.
So they just took these guys' word for it.
Showed up with a bunch of papers in a briefcase.
Yeah.
It's in here somewhere. I'll show it to you later.
Yeah.
Just sign and write the check.
Yeah. What's that SWIFT number? What's that bank routing number again? We're just going to send that money right over to you.
Yeah, we'll get it right to you.
In an interview with NBC News last week, Reiners referred a line that he had delivered to 60 Minutes correspondent Steve Kroft in 1999, once again 20 years later.
Right.
I had a harder time getting a home mortgage, that's just what I just said, than I did getting these loans. Reiners poured the money into stocks, but also into, I guess, Tim's an oracle, Trump Tower.
Wow.
A Trump Tower penthouse apartment.
Good for him.
It was unclear where Ruffo was parking his share of his proceeds. We were living in a simple little attached house in Queens. Ruffo's ex-wife said this week he was not living a millionaire's lifestyle. The scheme began to unravel in March of 1996 when an officer for the Japanese bank grew suspicious of the certificate that Reiners had produced. The officer faxed a copy of the certificate to McAdams. According to a court record, she replied the same day saying that the document was phony and Reiners isn't an official at the Philip Morris Company. Okay. The banks contacted Reiners seeking answers. He proposed a meeting with the financial executives and McAdams. He proposed a meeting.
Jeez, oh man, so they spent fucking 3 months figuring out that this was fake?
Yeah.
Before they just fucking went after this guy?
Apparently.
Which gave him all the time in the world for anybody to say, hey, we heard this isn't true, and then for him to split.
Yeah, and for him to say, let's arrange a meeting?
Yeah.
I would have been gone out of the country by then.
Well, he probably told him to arrange the meeting so he could fucking skate.
Ruffo and Reiners knew they were in a pinch. The only way out of it was to find someone to pose as Diane McAdams.
Oh, God. So they went over to NYU acting school.
Yeah. They settled on one of Ruffo's employees, a single mother from New Jersey named Judy Bachman.
Right.
Ruffo and Reiners told Bachman they were involved in a secret government project with Philip Morris. In an interview with NBC News, Reichman and she still remembers getting a call from Ruffo telling her about the meeting with the bank executives. It was March 17th of 1996, a Sunday, St. Patty's Day. Bachman said, he said that the government project with Philip Morris is in danger and you need to help us. Reiners and Bachman met with the bank officers at Philip Morris offices in Rye Brook, New York. They went to the offices.
Went to the officers.
Wow. In the meeting did not go as planned. You don't think?
Yeah, why not?
Reiners and Bachman left the building in handcuffs after the FBI swooped in.
Yeah, no shit. It was called a sting, dummy.
Wow. There was no way I would have ever done anything like that. Hey, let's get together at a meeting, shall we?
Yeah, Ruffo was like, you go ahead and go to that meeting. I think I'm going to head out to fucking South America.
Right. By the time Ruffo was arrested in March of 1997, the charges against Bachman had been dropped. Really? He got them dropped.
Wow.
Reiners was sentenced to 16 years and 10 months in prison after pleading guilty to one count of bank fraud and one count of money laundering. Ruffo was indicted on 160 counts of bank fraud and money laundering. His bond was set at $10 million. Yeah. Ruffo convinced 6 set of family members to offer up their homes as collateral. What did he do with all that money?
He didn't want to give it up because he knew he was going to run if he got out.
I guess. So his family members, 6 sets of family members, put their houses on, got loans against their houses to bail his ass out. He needed what is it, 10% of that?
Yeah, so you need $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know how, dude, play this out in your head and it makes sense. He told the family, undoubtedly, I didn't do this. This is bullshit.
Yeah,
I'm being framed.
Yeah, I'm being framed.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of money. I need you guys to help me.
Holy shit.
You know, I'll put their houses up, and then he said, fuck it, all my money's in fucking, accounts overseas.
Yeah.
And he took the fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck these people. What a dick, though. Didn't even send them any money back.
Yeah, you'd think he'd make them whole again.
Yeah, find some way, travel to France for a weekend and mail something or something.
Sure.
And fly back, something. Yeah, it's crazy.
With his trial just days away, Ruffo pleaded guilty in April of 1998. 6 months later, he was sentenced to 17 and a half years in prison. As Ruffo's attorney remembers it, officers put the convicted fraudster in handcuffs and prepared to lead him out of the courtroom. I said, whoa, 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 there's a deal in place that would allow my clients to self-surrender, the lawyer said. The judge looked at the prosecutor incredulously and said, did you agree to that? The prosecutor said yes, according to Lichtman, and they took the handcuffs off of him and he got on a plane to New York.
He just faked his way out?
Yeah, it's just like, I'll turn myself to Rikers Island in a week. Yeah, I'll be there.
See ya.
Yeah.
Wow.
Rufo's prison sentence was slated to start 5 weeks later. His former wife said that she noticed nothing unusual during that period. On the morning of November 9th, 1998, Ruffo dropped off his wife at a train station. It was the last time she would ever see him. Before returning home that evening, she received a phone call from the FBI. They were screaming at me, "Where is John Ruffo?" He's in Boston.
He's out of here.
He's calling the Classic Metal Show on Saturdays. Rouston recalled, "The blood rushed down my body. My face turned to ice." She returned home to find a suicide note that neither she nor the FBI believed told the real story. Ruffo was last caught on camera that afternoon withdrawing money from an ATM machine in Queens.
Yeah. $25 million. How much money could he have gotten out of an ATM?
Well, I think when they limit you like $500 or something like that.
He got enough to get the fuck out of town.
Yeah, of course. After he vanished, the government put a full court press on his family members and former colleagues seeking clues to his whereabouts. The relatives who put up their homes, most of whom were in their 70s and 80s, were forced to the streets.
Oh, man. He figured, well, they're going to die soon anyway.
Yeah, fuck them.
It's just a couple of years.
Yeah. Wow. Helen Farley, the former U.S. Attorney of the Eastern District of Virginia, which prosecuted the case, said she didn't recall the details of Ruffo's plea deal, but she still remembers the scope and the absurdity of his scam.
Right.
Leaving aside his disappearance, the story was incredible. He did this huge fraud with this wild scheme. Why all kinds of people didn't pick up on it? You got to be kidding me. Where were the accountants? Where was literally anyone with a brain?
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, we're a couple of dummies here on the CMS, and we're just like, how did you get $25 million and then receive up to $350 million? How does that happen?
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
Regarding Ruffo's bail, Farley said, obviously, in retrospect, the government should have screamed bloody murder, that it should have been revoked. At the time, Jim Comey, we know that asshole.
Jim Comey?
Jim Comey.
Why do we know him?
The former FBI director.
Oh, yeah.
The guy who let Hillary Clinton escape.
Yeah, that guy.
Was the managing assistant U.S. attorney in charge of the Eastern District of Virginia's Richmond Division. Comey, who was not directly involved in the case, declined comment.
Of course he did.
Tracking down Ruffo is now the responsibility of Chris Lauer and his fellow deputies in the U.S. Marshal's Office. Since 2000, Ruffo's pudgy face has graced the U.S. Marshal's list of the 15 most wanted fugitives. He's not our typical fugitive, said Lauer. You look at our top 15 most wanted and they're murderers and child predators. He's quite different. I would describe him as highly intelligent and who was living a successful life, but then he got greedy.
Yeah, where's he living now? Where do you think?
He's in Boston.
You think he's in Boston?
Yeah, he calls the show periodically.
Yeah. I think he's in Belize or something like that.
Of course he is.
Or fucking France or somewhere.
Right. Lauer said his office still receives reported sightings of Ruffo on a regular basis. In fact, just a few weeks ago, somebody reported seeing Ruffo at a store in the state of Washington.
Wow.
The marshals confirmed it. It wasn't him. Lauer said Ruffo's everyman appearance makes tracking him down even more difficult. He's a short, heavy-set white guy. You can walk down the street in any busy city in America and probably find 2 or 3 people you look at that look just like John Ruffo.
Right.
Lauer said Ruffo has something else going on for him as well. Money. Lots of money.
Right.
Ruffo is believed to have stashed away $8 million.
Yeah, so it's not like he has to go get a job. It's not like he has to work.
No.
He could just live if he lives modestly.
Right.
Oh, if he lives modestly, he could live pretty good and just go around, chase some pussy here and there, and and not ever have to deal with anything.
Sure.
He's never going to be. Do you think he'll ever be caught?
No, of course not.
If he's out of the country, no way.
Yeah, if he doesn't get stupid and just like, hey, you know what? I think I'm just going to go back to the States. The heat is off probably now.
Yeah, or get it in his mind that he needs to make nice with his family.
Yeah.
Or something. Some stupid thing like that's the only reason
he'll get a conscience and says, I'm sorry, I kind of feel bad for the ex-wife and all,
Yeah, he'll make a phone call or something and then get nailed.
Yeah, he'll be like Dillinger's girlfriend. Turns him in at the movie theater.
Yeah, but if he just keeps to it and just pretends they don't exist anymore, he'll be fucking free forever.
There were millions unaccounted for, Lauer said. That tells me he was thinking ahead.
Yeah.
Ruffo's lawyer doubts he'll ever be captured, just like Chris Aiken.
Mm-hmm.
I always think if everyone is willing to stay hidden, they can. You have to cut off everybody in your life, and that's what he did, says Chris Aiken.
Yeah.
For Ruffo's ex-wife, the passage of time has erased her pain. She has since remarried, but she still has clear memories of the period when she and her 5 other family members were forced to leave their homes within 2 weeks of his disappearance.
What a dick.
My poor mother-in-law left everything in her house because she was so overwhelmed. He was not a man because in the end he punished his mother, my mother, his aunts and uncles, and the government gave no mercy. Louston said she still struggles to reconcile the honorable, generous, and the brilliant man she married with the cruel and convincing fraudster who abandoned his closest relatives.
Why would the government have given him a mercy? They signed the papers to get him out of jail.
Well, that is true.
And then he ran.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that's supposed to be, is when you put your property up, if he doesn't show up, you forfeit it.
Yeah, that's it.
Why would the government offer leniency? Because he's a scumbag?
Well, because people put feelings above just facts and figures.
You backed the wrong horse, ma'am. Now beat it. We'll find a nice warm sewer grate tonight.
Exactly.
That's your own fault.
Right.
You and your dumb mother.
Everyone in our family put their homes up. That's how much we believed in him. Well, that's your dumb fault.
That's your fault. And I'm not saying that. Look, it's awfully hard to not do what you think is right for your kid or your husband or whatever,
a family member, whoever it is.
But when they fuck you, you have to deal with the consequences.
Yeah, I got dumb. I trusted the guy. I wish I hadn't, but that's the price I pay.
Yeah, you offered your house. That's your fault. Should have let him sit in jail. And if he was so innocent, then you let him sit in jail and work it out. That's all you got. That's all you can do. Can't look. I love my kids to death, but I sure wouldn't risk being homeless for the rest of my life over.
Yeah.
Over being confident that they didn't do something stupid. As much as I would probably do anything, including getting myself into legal problems to protect them, I sure wouldn't fucking set myself and the rest of my family up to be fucking homeless. You got to take care of yourself first sometimes.
Yep.
And these people didn't. Sorry. It's their own fault.
Yep. It's just like that crack whore Maxine Waters saying now that she's the head of the finance committee that she's going after the banks because she remembers how they foreclosed on people's loans.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that they got somebody of a stable mind in that position, too.
Yeah, we haven't forgotten that you foreclosed on people's loans, man.
Yeah, you mean loans that they didn't pay.
Yeah, well, yeah, but they were supposed to say, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I kind of feel bad for you. I'm not going to foreclose on your loan.
Yeah, no shit.
He was the kind of person who would give a job opportunity to the most undesirable person because they really needed the job. He would literally...
he needed scumbags to fucking help him cover up his operation.
He would literally give money out of his pocket that didn't belong to him to someone on the street who needed it. That's why it's so hard to believe that he turned into this monster.
Right.
Monster. He's a monster.
Mm-hmm. Too.
I love it. I mean, I feel bad a little bit, but it's just like, people are fucked.
Yeah. I do. I feel bad for these families that trusted this asshole. But in the end, you know what? They trusted an asshole.
They did.
So they get fucked.
Yeah.
That's the way the world works sometimes. Sometimes you just get fucked over by things.
Yeah. No kidding. So there you go. Our own John Ruffo.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Well, it's really not unbelievable.
It's unbelievable that somebody was this heartless to his whole family on the way out.
Well, that I agree with that.
It's not unbelievable they stole. It's
no, of course not. I mean, a guy who could scheme to get $350 million.
Yeah, I guess if you could scheme that, it's not really that far out of the realm of possibility that you'd fuck your family over on the way out.
Not at all.
He's just missing that compassion gene.
I would agree.
He's probably got that same missing thing as a murderer, where they don't feel any,
remorse. They don't have any remorse about it.
Yeah, and he's probably got that same thing. He's just not a killer. He's just a financial killer. What a crazy story.
I liked it though. Thanks for sending that over.
Well, that's Jerome that sent that over.
Oh, excellent. Well, thank you, Jerome. Well, speaking of that, are you going to make it for the Hawks game or not?
I'm coming to the February 22nd.
Okay, I just needed to know that for sure.
Yeah, February 22nd.
Okay.
That's the weekend I'm targeting.
All right. Well, let's play a couple of tunes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's play some Gus G. Gus G of Firewind and Ozzy Osbourne fame.
Okay.
He has a CD out there called Fearless.
Yes.
And here's Gus G doing some money for nothing.
And the chicks for free.
Exactly. So here it is. It's Gus G exclusively here.
On your Classic Metal Show.
Hi, this is Gus G from Firewind, and you're listening to the Classic Metal Show. Rock on.